I had read that you were a soccer player before getting into wrestling. Tell me about that experience because making that transition from one sport to another, especially like professional wrestling, I mean, that's a whole nother ball game.
Literally. So I started playing soccer whenever I was only 4 years old. And I played soccer all throughout my childhood, all the way up and through my senior year of high school. I was still actively playing soccer. In my high school, I was captain of the varsity soccer team for 3 years in a row. So I started out as a sophomore, junior, and senior, starting varsity and being the captain of the team. So absolutely loved soccer. For people that don't think it's a combat sport, they are completely wrong. I played hard every single game. I played with everything that I had. But my time playing soccer and my time pro wrestling actually overlapped. So most people wait till they're 16, 17, 18 years old to start training, even older than that in some cases. And whenever I first took my first bump in a wrestling ring, I was only 14 years old. I was still like a baby in middle school. So
Yeah,
they
I mean,
overlap.
yeah, I mean, when you're in that world, that whole idea of falling down, I mean, that hurts. That is, I mean, like you said a minute ago, soccer has its own fair share of issues as well when you're playing in a group, when you're playing on a team sport, but it's different when you're actually falling on plywood.
Yeah. So with wrestling, everyone says, oh, it's fake. Oh, it doesn't hurt. Oh, there's padding. The padding's there to protect the boards, not us. Like, that's not enough padding to truly make a difference. It's like maybe this thick and it's foam. Has no impact on how hard we hit that mat. So, whenever I first started training, your first moments are to learn to protect yourself, to learn to not get concussions every single time you fall, to learn how to not break your neck or not land on your head the wrong way. And whenever you're born, whenever you're learning how to walk, you're telling your brain's telling you, do not fall down. Do everything, do ninja powers, do whatever you got to do, just don't hit the ground. So if you slip while you're walking on ice, your instant reaction is to whoa, 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 don't hit the ground. So in pro wrestling, they tell you, no, you need to hit the ground. We need to learn how to fall and protect ourselves. So it was almost psychotic to try and tell my brain, hey, we're going to fall and we're going to fall really, really hard so we can get used to it. So that was definitely difficult, and learning how to tuck my chin sucked so bad. For some reason, whenever you're falling, you're worried about so many different things. And they tell you over and over, tuck your chin, because otherwise you'll hit your head on the mat and your head will bounce off the mat. That was the hardest thing for me to learn. I would hit my head over and over and over to the point where I got dizzy and was like in the alley throwing up because it just wouldn't click for me. So it's not an easy transition whatsoever, and it's the training process that I went through. It's rigorous. It's gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically jumping at like the deep end of the pool, and this requires a lot of discipline, and training to become a professional wrestler takes time, takes months, even years to actually put all the fundamentals together. What can you tell me about the the training process as far as working with a group of trainers that helped you throughout your career starting out?
So I didn't go to a traditional training school. Some people go to schools like Harley Race's Training Academy or the Cody Rhodes The Nightmare Factory
Mhm.
or the Team 3D school. But because I was training so young, I was training when I was in middle school and high school. So I would go on Tuesdays and Thursdays and I would travel an hour one way after school, after soccer practice to go and train with whoever I could get in the ring with. And it could be veterans that had been in the business for 20 years. It could be someone that's only been in the business for 4 or 5 years. Whoever was willing to dedicate their time to people that wanted to be professional wrestlers. So my training experience was very different from traditional like schools, but it's what worked for me. From a young age, I one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Bill Nye the Science Guy, and it's everyone you meet knows something that you don't. And that's just a reminder that even someone that's on the street begging for money has some piece of knowledge that you don't have that they can teach you. Even small children can provide those little bits of information that you had no idea. I'm pretty sure if you go up to like a 6-year old and ask a little boy, "Hey, can you tell me about your favorite dinosaur?" He's going to be able to rattle off facts about dinosaurs that you had no idea about. So the same thing applies to wrestling training. You can learn something from everybody in wrestling, whether it's what to do or what not to do. You kind of have to figure that out. But those opportunities are there if you want to learn from people.
And it's about